Seeds of Wisdom RV and Economic Updates Monday morning the 7th of October 24. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Good morning Dinar Recaps. XRP News. Will Ripple and SEC settle during 1/4-day appeal period? Black small square speculation has increased around the SEC versus Ripple case as experts provide contradictory opinions on the probability of a formal appeal after a notice of appeal was submitted on October 3. Black small square, a former SEC lawyer, believes that the consistent approach of the agency implies that its decision is not motivated by an increment of the $125 million penalty. CNF recently reported that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has filed a notice of appeal with the state's Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. According to a SEC spokesperson, the Commission's decision stems from its observation of a contradiction between a part of Judge Annalisa Torres' XRP ruling in July 2023 and a decade-long precedent set by the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, an XRP analyst and enthusiast identified as Jack the Rippler believes that the blockchain company and the Commission could reach an agreement within 14 days. According to this enthusiast, SEC's decision to appeal hinges on the desire to increase the initial penalty of $125 million imposed on Ripple. However, the former SEC lawyer, Mark Fagel, who rightly predicted the appeal decision, thinks otherwise. Revolving light breaking. The SEC and at Ripple can reach a settlement during the 14-day period following the notice of appeal. The SEC wants more money and appealed against the $125 million. #XRP's status cannot be changed and will never be considered a security. pic.twitter.com/9AOCBDQxt, Jack the Rippler, at Jack_Rippler, October 6, 2024. Commenting on this, Fagel hinted that the consistency in the approach of the Commission, starting from its interlocutory appeal last year over the programmatic sales of XRP, implies that the reason for its appeal is far from the penalty amount. To him, there is no reasonable basis to expect a settlement even though this is theoretically possible. Ripple, XRP, executives and industry lawyers speak out. In a brutal response, Ripple Chief Legal Officer, CLO, Stuart Alderoty, accused the SEC of deliberately staging litigation warfare against the crypto industry. According to him, Ripple would study the situation and file a cross-appeal. "We are evaluating whether to file a cross-appeal. Either way, the SEC's lawsuit has been irrational and misguided from the start. And we're ready to prove that yet again in the appellate court, once again taking the lead for the industry." Joining the conversation, lawyer Bill Morgan clarified that the Commission has only filed a notice of appeal. According to him, both parties could potentially negotiate for a settlement within 14 days. On the other hand, Morgan believes that this possibility could also be highly unlikely considering the SEC's recent stance on the crypto industry. In this case, he advised that Ripple challenge the institutional sales to on-demand liquidity, ODL, customers if it decides to cross-appeal. Meanwhile, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse thinks this appeal is misguided and infuriating. "While we'll fight in court for as long as we need, let's be clear, XRP's status as a non-security is the law of the land today, and that does not change even in the face of this misguided and infuriating appeal." Remember, when the SEC tried unsuccessfully to file an interlocutory appeal, they made clear they had no intention of challenging XRP's status as a non-security. Crypto in the UAE just got a tax break, no more VAT on digital assets. The UAE has once again planted itself in the spotlight for the crypto space with its recent Dubai crypto tax changes. While most countries are struggling to give crypto its space in the economy, the UAE is leading by setting various examples. This time, the UAE has brought big changes to its tax rules for crypto. On October 2, the Federal Tax Authority, FTA, made an announcement about new updates to value-added tax. Transfers and conversions of digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, are now exempt from VAT. This update even applies retroactively to transactions dating back to 2018. What's the deal with virtual assets and VAT? If you're running a business in the UAE that deals with virtual assets, like buying, selling, or converting crypto, This change could mean you owe less tax. And the best part? It applies retroactively from January 1, 2018, which could lead to some major tax savings. But there's a bit more to it. If your company has been paying VAT on these transactions since 2018, you might want to take a closer look at your old tax returns. There could be a chance to correct past filings and claim back VAT that you shouldn't have paid in the first place. This process is called input VAT recovery, and it allows businesses to get back the VAT they've already paid on business-related expenses. New VAT rules for exports and services. The changes don't just affect crypto companies. Exporters in the UAE will also see some shifts in how they handle VAT. It's now easier to apply the zero VAT rate when exporting goods, as the documentary requirements have been relaxed. On the flip side, exporting services, especially those tied to real estate or digital activities, may now be subject to the standard VAT rate. VAT exemptions for investment funds. It's not just crypto businesses celebrating these changes. Investment funds are also getting a VAT break. Fund managers and those running licensed investment funds can now benefit from VAT exemptions, which could lower their operating costs. These savings might help investment firms reinvest in their growth, especially when working with services from outside the UAE. What's next for crypto regulations? Aside from the tax updates, the UAE is tightening its regulations on cryptocurrencies. Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, VARA, is teaming up with the Securities and Commodities Authority, SCA, to monitor crypto businesses more closely. If you're in the business of promoting virtual assets, you'll need to make sure you include a disclaimer in your marketing materials. It must warn that virtual assets can be extremely volatile and might lose value quickly. What should businesses do now? These updates are a game changer for companies in the UAE, especially those dealing with crypto. Whether you're managing virtual assets or running an investment fund, now's the time to review your tax strategy. By adjusting to these new regulations, businesses could save money and avoid unnecessary complications in the future. And with the UAE aiming to be a global hub for digital assets, keeping up with these changes is key to staying competitive. Hong Kong issues third crypto trading platform license, plans more approvals. 11 more platforms are currently on the SFC's deemed to be licensed list. Hong Kong's financial regulator has granted its third license under the new crypto trading platform regime, with plans to approve more by the end of the year. In an interview with local media outlet HK01, Julia Liang, chief executive of the Securities and Futures Commission, SFC, confirmed that HKVAX is the latest firm to receive a license to operate as a crypto exchange in Hong Kong. This follows earlier approvals for OSL and Hashkey, which are already licensed to provide crypto trading services. 11 more platforms are under consideration. Liang highlighted that 11 other platforms are currently on the SFC's deemed to be licensed list, which includes firms that have submitted applications under the new regime. The SFC has conducted initial on-site inspections of these applicants and has asked them to make necessary adjustments to comply with regulatory requirements. Liang expressed the regulator's aim to issue more licenses in batches by year-end. Anthony Ng, co-founder and CEO of HKVAX, stated that the license aligns with Hong Kong's ambition to solidify its role as a leading financial hub. This approval affirms HKVAX's position and demonstrates Hong Kong's commitment to being at the forefront of the virtual asset industry, Ng said. Hong Kong's approach to crypto regulation gained momentum in June 2023, when it formally implemented a licensing framework for crypto trading platforms, enabling them to serve retail investors. The move was seen as a bid to attract more crypto firms to the city. However, not everyone is satisfied with the regulatory framework. Duncan Chu, a local lawmaker, criticized the rules as excessively stringent, suggesting they have deterred some global exchanges from entering the Hong Kong market. On March 28, 2024, HKVAX, suspected to be affiliated with Binance, withdrew its license application. Subsequently, on May 14, IBTCEX, QuanX Lab, and Huobi HK followed suit, followed by Gate HK on May 22, OKX-HK on May 24, and Bybit, Spark Fintech Limited, on May 31. Meanwhile, Bullish and Crypto.com remain on the SFC's list of pending applicants. crypto exchange applicants face uncertainty after inspections. As reported, 11 Hong Kong cryptocurrency exchanges, which initially received provisional approvals, have come under regulatory scrutiny. This came after the city's SFC conducted on-site inspections of these, deemed to be licensed, platforms and found several practices that fell short of regulatory expectations. The inspections revealed that some crypto firms are overly dependent on a limited number of executives for the custody of client assets, raising concerns about their ability to manage these responsibilities effectively. Additionally, some exchanges were found lacking in robust measures to protect against cybercrime. The SFC has not disclosed which specific firms failed to meet the standards, and the inspections are still ongoing, leaving the possibility of further findings. The SFC warned that platforms unable to address critical deficiencies identified during inspections could face the removal of their deemed to be licensed status or have their license applications rejected outright. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.